Hello guys, it's Tuesday, May 19th, 2026. It's actually past 10 here in Spain, so I'm going to wrap this up shortly. I just want to say first and foremost, excuse any grammar issues, or if I'm not very intellectual. It's getting late. I had a long day. My son had rugby practice. Parents had rugby practice as well, and I was watching the market because and we'll get to it. Okay. So today was the start of this Ninja Trader arena um, competition. Um, a few times a year, they do these free challenges or free competitions where you can sign up for, and they actually give you like cash prizes, and they're very generous. It's not like the first three, like it's the first 100. If you're actually in this particular competition, if you scored, if you had if your total P&L was within the first 130th, um, the top 130th, whatever, you would receive $100. If you were number one, you get 5,000. Number two, 15,000. Number three, 800. But if you were anywhere between fourth and 130th place, you received $100. So you could see my rank there on the right. I was 56 out of 10,000 traders. My total P&L was 3,462. You are limited to the products that you can trade and the size. So I'm familiar with ES, of course. Micro. They gave you a choice of um, micro ES contracts. You can only with a maximum of three, and a maximum of three micro Nasdaq contracts. You could also trade a currency pair. I think it was like Euro FX. You could trade gold, and I don't know too much about the max contract size because I don't trade those. I just focused on the S&P and the Nas, and yeah, I was just very, very, very fortunate um, to perform well. Um, I just kind of stayed in the trade. Like this morning, it had a very, at the U.S. Open, it rose. I think that on my NAS, I was able to execute. I think I had a TP for like 200 points, and I believe it took it out. Like it reached the TP, and then but my ES trade, I remember it was struggling a little bit. I can't remember exactly what I did, and then things started retracing, and I think I got in at that time, got back in the market. Um, I think I got stopped out on my ES on my ES trades because I was looking for a bullish market. I believe ES didn't reach my target. I had a target of like 80 ticks, I think, and it didn't reach it. It seemed like it was getting pretty close, and then it retraced, went all the way down to touch my 65 tick stop loss that I had. The market seemed to continue to sell. I think I got in and rode the market lower, and then turned around and rode the market as it reversed and went higher. So by the time I finished rugby practice, I was like as you see there, 3,400 some dollars. So that pushed me up into 56th place. So I receive $100 in cash, and I'm so excited because that $100 I'm going to transfer it to my Ninja Trader account, and now I have access. I have a little money that I can use to trade, and I have the most important thing ever is I have access to live simulated data, and I have access to market replay. To me, those are like two very important tools. So as long as you have more than $1 in your NinjaTrader account, you have access to those things. So I'm super excited, unexpected. Usually these competitions, I mean, because they're very generous as far as their placement, it's possible. But I mean, to get to number one, number two, or number three, like whoever's trading, they do a phenomenal job. Like to me, I'm always just concentrated, just like getting the $100. I'm not trying to shoot for first place. So, and I've been able to, like, I think I've won a few of these competitions that they offer. Just clipping $100 here, $100 there, $100. So I've been very fortunate in these competitions, and I wasn't expecting to win, but once I had the win on my back, I just held on to it. I try not to jump in and out, and I said, if I'm with the trend, I'm with the trend. If not, it's only a free competition, so it's nothing to worry about. But like I said, I've been very fortunate in these NinjaTrader Arena competitions, and they're very generous, and I respect NinjaTrader a lot. So I look forward to that. Receiving that money. It's instant too. Like they'll send you an email once the competition closes. You fill it out. It automatically get deposited to your account, like as cash, and then I could transfer that, submit that deposit to my NinjaTrader account. So that was unexpected. And yesterday I was talking about how I wanted, how I miss having my personal accounts, So that's really cool. Also, I traded my funded futures eval, and I hit the profit target today. So I believe the profit target is $1,500. I was able to reach 26,525. It does have a 50% consistency rule though. So I think I need $169 more, but very, very excited. I'm just like, wow, I was able to pass. I was very fortunate because I did the same exact trade that I did. But for NinjaTrader, you couldn't park a trade prior to 9:30. Like 9:30 is when the competition started, which I really like. In my eval, I had parked that trade at 9:29:55 seconds. Like I guess those few seconds made a difference because I got stopped out in my ES trade in the competition, but like it came very close to my stop loss in my eval account. Came very close, but then it retraced and reversed and caught, and it hit my TP. So I was very, very fortunate. I even added size to that. I was with one mini, so I was just like, I was like, I had strong conviction in my trade. I thought it was going to be a much higher push from the open, but very crazy wicks and dramatic behavior in the market this morning. But yeah, and I believe I need $169 if I'm correct to truly to meet the consistency rules. But take my time, don't rush, don't push it and stuff. And I'm really happy. So I've not yet met the 50% consistency rule for the evaluation. I'm just taking this formula from the Apex. I don't know how my funded futures does it, but I know with Apex is your highest profit day divided by 0.5, which is 50% consistency. I know Apex is 30%, equals minimum total profit required. So my highest profitable day was $847 yesterday. You take that divided by 0.50, so you need $1,694 on top of the 25,000 starting balance. So I would need $26,694 if I'm correct. A total of $26,694. So my current balance is $26,525, which means I still need $169 in profit to meet the consistency rule. Like I said, I just plan to take it very easy going forward. and not do anything silly. There's no reason why I should be trading one mini tomorrow. Um, so just one micro contract of that, doesn't matter. Just keep it steady. I had started my journaling this morning, where I was taking my coffee and toast. So this is from the morning, but I'm just going to go ahead and read through it. Today is a new day and a fresh start. We can only learn from yesterday. I love the start of a new day. Fresh data, fresh analysis, and a fresh opportunity, but we must also realize our goals. Yes, do not forget your goals, dreams, and desires. Sometimes we can get so consumed by focusing on the task that we forget why we are doing this. Don't forget to take a little time to remind yourself of the why. You wanted something, and you felt that trading was one of the ways to get you there. Yes, it is a struggle. Yes, there are roadblocks and failure, but it is all part of the plan. There is no path in life where things are going to be perfect. This is especially true in the world of trading. There are going to be so many times you fail. It could take years to build consistency. But one of the greatest gifts is that I was able to create something that no one can take from me. My strategy, my rules were created by me, and they can generate money. That in itself is powerful. I've spoken in the past about learning from people who had experience long before 2021, people who actually worked on the trading floor. That is how I discovered Don Miller, an independent and highly successful trader who made $2 million at the height of the financial crisis in 2008. He documented his entire experience, which is invaluable. Just imagine, on November 20th, 2008, the market suffered an unprecedented crash. Lehman Brothers had already collapsed 2 months prior, and the market was gripped by ultimate fear. And yet, this individual was trading right in the eye of the storm. What can we possibly learn from a man without fear? What surprised me about Don Miller on November 20th, 2008 was how calm he was when he shared his commentary with us. I believe the market fell 6% that day, yet he remained completely calm. He was profitable that day, but even a trader as good as he is had to admit that he needed to bow out and call it a day. He did not panic. He was not frantic. He looked as if he always had a process in place. With that kind of demeanor, I would trust Don Miller with my money. The fact that he would take time to journal after a long and arduous trading day also speaks volumes. Most people, including myself, would just eat and have a beer, but Don Miller's mind never stopped working. He remained ready. Don Miller is like a military officer. You can count on him to remain focused. He is very disciplined. Officers have the ability to remain focused even after long periods of time. They do not sway from one moment to the next or from one trend to the other. They remain disciplined. After a while, my mind starts to wander. I get tired of listening to market analysis, Bloomberg, and so on. Disciplined people, however, continue through the fatigue. It becomes molded into who they are, and they become someone people can count on. That's it. Oh, well, that's all I wrote. And yeah, I just remember that. I remember watching, I've been trying to, I really want to watch all his YouTube videos from the very first one all the way to the present day. He has tons because it goes over years of content he's created. And I didn't realize that in 2028 that I thought it was past. I thought the financial crisis was in '07, but 2028, September you had Lehman Brothers collapsed. 2028, November 20th, 2008, you had ultimate fear. You had an unprecedented day where the market fell like 6%. And this gentleman here is day trading. It's literally day trading. And I always said to myself, if you can survive certain market conditions, especially the ones that we're in, even though the S&P is pushing higher, things are looking, great, mark, 7,400 or whatnot. It's not like 2021 or 2022. It's very tricky, and it's probably not like 2008, but it's definitely a different market condition. And if we can learn how to trade in this market condition, when things turn around and there's a bunch of jubilee and people are very excited and everything is going up, all the better. But we have to learn how to trade in all different type of market conditions. And I found this gentleman so interesting because he was trading at a time where there was ultimate fear. One of the worst market crises that we've one of the worst market crises that we've had in our history. And this gentleman was day trading it. So it's quite spectacular. So that's all I want to share. Like I said, it's getting late. I got to put my kids to bed. But good things happen today. Really good things happen today. And I just look to keep myself humble, keep myself calm, keep myself like Don Miller. Yes, listening to market commentary all the time, can make me fatigued. Sometimes I have a taste for something different, you know, um, and it's probably just so it can relax my mind. But you got to fight through that fatigue. You got to remain disciplined. You got to you got to be an officer, where you just remain on point. You got to be that sergeant major where you're just on point for, for 5, 10, 15, 20 years, you know? Um, and that's something that I'm growing and developing and just learning because I get fatigued. Sometimes I just, prefer to listen to music or listen to something a little bit more entertaining, but you got to remain focused. And with that said, yeah, great day today. Ran, so my body is aching right now, very sore with all the running, and I'm gonna have a good rest. And hopefully my kids will too. And that's it. Thanks for tuning in. I look forward to speaking with you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.